So let's get a bit of practice doing this. So let's have a look here. When we're solving for x in the denominator, so let's have a look at this equation, this question here. Solve for x in this equation, cos 35 degrees is equal to 2 over x. So I'm going to write that down underneath. Cos 35 degrees is equal to 2 over x. Now, as you notice, this is exactly the same as the question that I had before. I'm going to show you both the ways that I mentioned up above. So if you have a look, let me do it the first method. So what we first need to do is get rid of that fraction. I want to get rid of x at the bottom of this fraction. So what do I need to do? I need to multiply both sides by x. So let me just write this down here. So I'll copy this, copy that, and I'm going to put it down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by x. I'm going to multiply both sides by x. So on the left hand side, I'm going to have x cos 35 degrees. And on the right hand side, the x at the bottom of my fraction and the x over here are going to cancel. And so I end up getting 2. X times cos 35 degrees is equal to 2. Okay, now I just want x by itself. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to divide both sides by cos 35 to cancel out that cos 35 on the left hand side. And so for my final answer, I'm going to get x is equal to 2 over cos 35 degrees. And so when we put that in the calculator, we get 2 over cos 35, 2.41441. It's to 2 decimal places, so I'm just going to have 2.44. And there we go. So that was the first method that we went through up above. The second method was if we just did a swap between x and the trig value. So here, let me try that again. Now, what I mentioned was, if you have x in the denominator, so at the bottom of your fraction, what you can do is just do a swap between your trig value and your x. So here I can just swap the two. And so I'm going to have x is equal to 2 over cos 35, which is exactly what I have over here. And that'll give me 2.44 as well. Okay, so that's two ways that you can approach this. The first way is kind of more detailed in showing you every single step that we did. But if you forget that, if that's too complicated, that's totally fine. You can do method 2 as well. They're both equally valid and are totally fine. Okay, so that's how we solve for a value where it's in the denominator. So if our missing value or our x value is in the bottom of our fraction, so in the denominator, so this part here, just remember, in fractions, this is your denominator. If your missing side is in your denominator, you need to either multiply that value first and then divide by the trig value on the other side, or you just do a swap between that and your trig value. Okay, so that's how we solve equations for x in the denominator.